Hi everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to have a look at a few common mistakes that players are making all the time. This could make a massive difference to your game. Before we get stuck in, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I've noticed a lot of you are viewing but not subscribing. It helps massively for the channel. So click that notification bell and you'll be notified as soon as a new video drops. Let's have a look. Number one, having your bridge hand too high. So this is quite a common thing that I see when I've been coaching. If you think about it, if your bridge hand is too high, then you're always going to be striking down on the cue ball. And anytime we strike down on the cue ball, if we don't hit exactly in the center, we're always going to apply some kind of side spin. And if you think, how do we want to swerve a ball? We would hit down on the ball with side spin. So when your bridge is too high, effectively, if you don't hit exactly in the center of the cue ball, you're going to play a mini swerve shot. So if your bridge is up here and you have to strike down on the cue ball, if we can try and flatten the hand slightly, still maintain that V with the fingers and that flatter hand, if we can be a bit more parallel to the table, and you see like that, as opposed to the knuckles high and striking down on the cue ball, you're going to be a bit more consistent on where you strike the cue ball, and hopefully with your hand flatter, you're not going to hit down, get any unwanted side spin and effectively swerve the ball. So try and get the hand flatter to the table, don't dig down, nice and parallel, and you'll find that you'll be a bit more consistent with your strikes. Number two, changing your alignment whilst down on the shot. Again, common thing that I see, and this is all down to being a little bit lazy with the pre-shot routine. So however you get yourself on the line of the shot, you want to make sure that that is in place before we even get down to play the shot. So if I've potted a red and now coming round to the pink, the last thing we want to do is just walk round to the shot, get down, realize we're not on line, and then you have to start moving a little bit. Whenever we get down on a shot, we're always going to micro adjust. So the tiny movements that are going to just get a feel for the shot and make sure that you're perfect. But the last thing we want to do is rush getting down on the shot, being offline, and then trying to move, because everything's just going to be out of sync. So let's try and get all this done before we even get down to the shot. So however you get down on your shot to find the line, this is what we have to do. Let's give our chance the best chance of potting the ball before we even get down on the shot. So I've just potted a red. I'm going to come down to the pink now. I've got myself on line. I'm down on the shot. I'm confident I'm on the same line. I don't need to adjust. And we play the shot. So don't be lazy in your pre-shot routine and try not to move when you're down on your shot. If you feel like you're not on line, get back up and start it all again. Number three. So I'm sure you've seen this shot a lot. When there is an object ball near a pocket and you're trying to get the cue ball away, I'm sure you've seen it before. You try and hit the ball to get back up the table and the cue ball just stops dead or stays down this end of the table. So the misconception is that to get the cue ball back up the table once it struck the object ball, you have to hit at the top of the white, which in some shots is correct. But with this shot, because you're hitting the top, it's spinning forward. You've got forward rotation, so as soon as it hits the object ball, hits the cushion, and the top spin is still on the cue ball. So it's spinning and it's fighting against the cloth, and it'll either arc back onto the cushion, stop dead, or just come out to this area. So what we actually have to do is the opposite. We have to hit lower down on the cue ball. So when the cue ball hits the cushion, it doesn't have top spin and that forward rotation, and then it hits the cushion and it naturally wants to come this way because we're not fighting against the cushion now with topspin, the lower down you go, it'll hit the cushion normally, and then it'll be able to come back up the table and not stay around this area. Number 4. So similar to the high bridge, exactly the same with the rest. So again, common thing I see when players play with the rest, they have the rest head too close to the cue ball. So obviously what that does, in order to strike the cue ball, you're now going to be aiming down on the ball. So the butt is up in the air, you're aiming down on the ball, and if you don't hit the centre, then you're always going to play a mini swerve shot. So get a little bit more distance. What you'll find, the more the rest head comes back, you can almost lower the butt of the cue, and you're not striking down so much on the cue ball. So obviously you don't want to come too far away. The further you come away, then you start sacrificing the accuracy. You're going to have too much cue at the front, but too close, you're not going to have enough, and you're going to be striking down. So just experiment yourself. You don't want to be too close nor too far away. Probably 10 inches, something like that. You'll be able to get the butt a little bit lower, and you're not going to be striking down on the cue ball as much, and hopefully not playing that mini swerve and applying too much side spin when you do it. Number 5, playing with too much side spin. So there's a misconception. When anyone mentions about playing with side, they feel like they have to hit the extreme to either left or right of the cue ball, but that's not true. So a lot of people steer away from side because they're a little bit scared by it, and I understand that, but once you get to grips that you don't have to play with as much side as what you think, you'll find that it's a little bit easier to play. So if we've got a shot that is just off straight now, so the rule I go by is, obviously on a straight shot, no side at all, we're just centre ball striking. As the angle gets more and more and more, then I will start to apply more side spin. So the more angle, the more side spin that I put on. So if we've got a shot in this position now, we're just off straight. So the way I would play this, I've probably got a quarter of a tip over to my left of side spin. So it's only a minor adjustment. If I now move the cue ball this way, I will now probably have half a tip of side spin on there, then a bit more this way. Now I've probably got, I would say, a full tip of side spin. So you can see that when the angle increases, then I put a little bit more side spin on. But give it a try for yourself. But when you've got angle shots with minimal angle, you don't need to put a lot of side spin, so it's not to the extreme of the cue ball, it's just little traces. So just remember that obviously the straighter we are, plain ball striking, then the more angle, the more side you put on the shot. But give it a go, practice, and let me know how you get on. So there we go. I don't know if any of those sound familiar and that is something you do, but hopefully those little tips can help you along with your game. There's going to be lots of videos on little mistakes that players make, so make sure you check back to the channel, and in the meantime have a look at all the other videos. I hope they're all beneficial to you. Leave any comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, if you like the content, please like, share and subscribe. Helps massively for the channel. And also coaching is available with me on this table in this room, so please do get in touch. But in the meantime, check out all the videos and we'll see you soon for the next one.